Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of memory.
Yeah, well, the stuff we're looking at today, it's incredible.
We're talking about actually reliving memories,
Mm-hmm.
not just vaguely remembering, but actually reliving them. And specifically, those powerful first-time movie experiences.
Right.
We've got a stack of research here, and honestly, some of it reads like pure science fiction.
It really does. It's like, think virtual reality,
Yeah.
but like way more advanced than anything we have right now,
Okay.
combined with a AI that acts like a personal memory detective.
It's wild.
And that's not even the half of it. Some of these researchers are even looking into ways to actually influence our past selves.
Okay, well, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Let's start with the basics.
Yeah.
The source material talks about recreating the entire experience, not just watching the movie again,
Right.
but imagine feeling that, like worn-out velvet of the theater seat where you sat as a kid, the smell of popcorn hanging in the air.
It's about, they call it a total sensory immersion. They're talking VR headsets, of course.
Yeah.
But also haptic feedback technology.
Okay.
So imagine like actually feeling the rumble of the seats during an action sequence, or the air like rushing past you as a spaceship blasts off on screen.
Oh, wow.
And then there's the scent generators because, smell is so powerful in triggering memories. And the research suggests they're getting incredibly good at replicating those subtle details.
So it's not just watching the movie again. It's like stepping back into your younger self's shoes.
Yeah.
But it goes even further than that, right?
Okay.
The research mentions using AI to actually recreate the entire day surrounding that movie.
Yeah, so think of it like this. You've got this massive puzzle of your life, right?
Okay.
And some pieces are inevitably missing.
Right.
This AI acts like some kind of super detective, piecing those missing pieces together. It analyzes your old social media posts, photos, even messages from friends who were there.
Oh, wow.
Maybe you were complaining about burnt popcorn, or your best friend was running late, details you've long forgotten. All of that gets woven into the experience to heighten the realism.
So we're not just passively watching a movie again.
Right.
We're practically living it.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
The research suggests that you might actually be able to interact with your younger self in this virtual world.
That's right. Imagine being able to talk to your younger self.
Wow.
Offer advice, or maybe even warn them about something they're about to do.
Right.
It's a fascinating concept.
Yeah.
But it also opens up this Pandora's box of ethical questions.
Right. Because who hasn't wished they could go back and give their younger selves a heads up?
Right.
But then again, wouldn't that change who we are today? Kind of a mind-boggling thought.
Exactly.
Right.
And the research kind of delves into these implications.
Yeah.
Some experts argue that it's like, like looking back at a photo album
Oh, yeah.
and wishing you'd smiled a little wider in a particular shot. It doesn't change the memory itself.
Right.
Just your perspective on it.
Yeah.
Others worry about, the potential for psychological harm, especially when it comes to traumatic memories.
And we haven't even gotten to the part about this experimental drug that some researchers are exploring.
Oh, right.
It sounds like something out of Limitless.
Yeah.
They're saying it can actually amplify memory recall.
And we're not talking about just remembering something with a little more clarity.
Okay.
This is about experiencing those memories with the same emotional intensity as when they first happened.
Wow.
It's almost like, time travel
Yeah.
for your senses and emotions.
So you're saying you could potentially feel that childhood wonder of seeing your favorite superhero on screen for the first time all over again.
Yeah.
Or on the flip side, maybe relive a painful memory with the same raw emotion as the first time around.
Precisely. It's about unlocking the visceral power of those memories, both good and bad.
Right.
It's exciting, but it's also a bit daunting, isn't it?
Absolutely. And this whole idea of revisiting the past and maybe even making different choices in this VR recreation.
Yeah.
It's like stepping into uncharted territory.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if we're on the verge of changing the very fabric of our personal realities.
It's a question that has philosophers and scientists alike scratching their heads. Could making a different choice in a simulated version of the past somehow impact your present life?
That's a pretty heavy concept to wrap our heads around.
Yeah.
But before we get too lost in the theoretical weeds, let's bring it back to something a little more concrete.
Okay.
The research also talks about how this technology could potentially unlock buried memories, things we didn't even realize we'd forgotten.
Right. Like those memories that you don't even know are gone.
Right.
They're just gone.
Exactly.
But this could potentially unlock them.
Wow.
Imagine suddenly remembering a seemingly insignificant detail from your childhood
Right.
that completely changes your understanding of a past relationship or a major life decision.
Oh, wow.
It's a powerful concept.
Yeah.
And it raises a lot of questions about the nature of memory itself.
It makes you wonder if our memories are even reliable,
Right.
or if they're constantly being shaped and reshaped by our present experiences and perceptions.
Yeah. Are they a perfect recording?
Right.
Or is it just every time we access them, are we just rewriting them?
This is all getting very meta.
And that's what makes this research so compelling.
Yeah.
It's not just about technological advancements, it's about exploring the very essence of what it means to remember, to learn, and to be human.
It's wild to think how much our understanding of memory could change with all this. It's not just about those old movies anymore, is it?
Oh, not even close. It's about, rethinking the very nature of memory itself, you know,
Yeah.
and how it shapes who we are. Imagine the impact this could have, even in education. What if students could experience historical events firsthand
That's incredible.
instead of just reading about them in some textbook?
Right. That would definitely make history class a lot more interesting. And what about therapy or even criminal justice? Actually being able to relive those kinds of memories.
Right. That's where things get really interesting. Imagine therapists could guide patients through traumatic memories,
Yeah.
but in this safe and controlled environment.
Wow.
Or eyewitness testimonies, where you could replay them with incredible detail.
But wouldn't that also open the door for, manipulation
Mhm.
or even false memories?
Oh, absolutely.
Seems like walking a tightrope,
Hmm.
between enhancing a memory and completely changing it.
Definitely. And that's why it's so important to be having these conversations right now,
Right.
While the technology is still in those early stages,
Yeah.
how do we make sure it's used ethically, responsibly, especially with something this powerful? I mean, this has the potential to reshape, well, everything, how we see the past, the present, even the future.
It's definitely a lot to consider. I gotta admit, it's a bit exciting too, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. It's like this technology has the potential to revolutionize our lives. How we learn, how we heal, how we understand ourselves. It's like this whole new world of memory is opening up.
It really is. And it's up to us to figure out how to navigate it. It's pretty incredible stuff to think about.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, from the science behind it all to the ethics, even the philosophy. And what started as this exploration into reliving those movie moments, I think it's really become something much bigger.
It really has. It's about the nature of memory itself. How much power do we really have over it?
Exactly. It's exciting and a bit daunting at the same time. But that's something for all of us to ponder as we move into this uncharted territory of memory manipulation. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the future of remembering. Until next time.